Hello, everybody. Happy Monday morning. Welcome back. You are watching the Kaiser Report. We've got a few things to talk to you about today, especially over the weekend with all of the appearances of Democrats trying to blame the Republicans for the government shutdown when we all full well know it's a Schumer shutdown, aided and abetted by Hakeem Jeffries and most of the Democratic aisle that refuse all but one or two, maybe three, that will vote for a clean, continuing resolution to open up this government, pay the government employees that are essential employees, such as the military, the FAA people that are in the towers keeping our airplanes safe and flying through the sky, and you on time for your flights. I guess they're waiting for someone to die as a result of their stubbornness and their hatred for Donald J. Trump to keep this government closed the way they have, in the fashion that they have, all while telling you, the mainstream public, that it's all due to the fact that we're taking away everyone's health care. This is the biggest lie ever perpetrated on the American public in the last decade. It's unbelievable because this continuing resolution that would have kept everything going is the same resolution that they have voted for under Biden and under Obama and years gone by. There is no reason for the government to be shut down in any fashion at this particular juncture, other than the fact that they cannot stand the winning of Donald J. Trump. Everything he touches will just rub salt in the wound of a loss of the Democratic Party in the last election. And even before that, where they tried to jail him, bankrupt him, and everything else. And you'll see a little bit about that in the plea that Letitia James has come up with. We'll show you here a little bit later. All while they're promoting and encouraging these no king movements and encouraging the weaker side of our population to go and protest against our law against illegal immigration that is being handled by the immigration enforcement people, ICE, as they so aptly refer to it as. The No Kings movement, what are they talking about? What king are they referring to? Do they mean the king, God the king? The godlessness of their left side of the aisle over the last 4 years and the encouragement of people of bad behavior, of immoral actions? Is that what they're referring to? They don't want the King of Kings, God Almighty, and His Son Jesus Christ to be relevant again? Is this why they murdered Charlie Kirk? Because he brought the message to the campuses where our children have been indoctrinated rather than educated over the last few years? Is that what the No King movement really is? Because we know that Donald Trump is not trying to be a king, doesn't want to be a king. He wants to do what he promised the American people who elected him to do. And that was clean up our streets right now that are inundated with illegal people doing illegal things, such as the epidemic of drugs that we watch take over cities in these United States. Lawlessness had been the rule of thumb. Look at Kensington area near Philadelphia. They finally, just the other day, decided to clean that mess up. and arrest the people, the drug lords, that were lording over the streets. These are the kings that they want to see. But God forbid we go to our house of worship and recognize the true King of Kings. They don't like that. And I'll tell you why. They are on the side of evil, and Trump is on the side of good. It's a battle between good and evil right now. Across the globe, when you stop and actually think of what's going on, look at England, what they have experienced this weekend with the Muslim crowds dressed in black, preventing anyone from walking into their neighborhood, which they proclaim now to own. Not even the police were allowed to traverse any of those streets. Maybe they were scared. We know that they're not armed. But I'll guarantee you, the Muslim radicals that blocked those streets have access to weapons. Is that what the fear of the London police are? This is incorrect thinking. This is incorrect actions. And it's being allowed to take place in the guise of protest and things of that nature that absolutely mean not a thing about kings, about ICE, or anything else. It's a movement to socialize and communize a country that was founded under God. And they're trying to erase that king from the United States. God is king. The people out in these marches that you see on TV, when they're approached by a reporter, have no clue of what they're talking about. It's clear and simple. They just do not understand what they're talking about, or even the rhetoric that they're fed by whoever organizes these marches. They don't know half of the time what their signs say. Never mind their history or any relevant acumen toward knowing what the Constitution really says, or what an article of the Constitution is, or their First Amendment right, and the Second Amendment ban all guns. This is what they know, and that is the extent of what they know, because we have had a failure in our school systems in this country for quite a while now. Let's take a look at somebody that is marching in a No King movement that was questioned by a reporter.
Being sarcastic. I would like him out of office.
Out of office.
Yeah.
Would you like J.D. Vance to be the president
No,
then?
I would not.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who would you like to be the president?
Kamala Harris right now, but she didn't win. But
Can I point out something that we say no kings and no authoritism, but Kamala Harris, no one voted for her.
yes, they did. Half the country voted for her, so let's not go there.
No one was voted for her to be the nominee.
No. Yes, they did.
Isn't that what
You're going down the wrong road right now with me. I wouldn't go any further.
What does that mean?
I'm not going to talk to you anymore. That's what it means.
I just think it's ironic that no one voted for her to be the nominee. They just selected her like a king gets selected, right?
But keep it to yourself. Okay. Bye. Have a good day. See ya.
All
Take
right.
care.
What's your other sign say?
No, you don't need to see it.
Okay.
None of your business.
All right.
They don't understand. They don't understand the numbers that Kamala Harris lost by. They don't understand that she was never primaried and never got a primary vote to put her in the position that she ran for. She's out again on the campaign trail, or a book selling detail, saying that she is going to run again in 28. I can't wait. This is a person who could not put a paragraph together, much like Mandani and all of the other people like her that are running for offices, and those that are sitting in seats of power in our government for sometimes half a century. I mean, look at Mitch McConnell. Look at some of the people that have been in these seats for 40 years, 38 years. We showed you all this. It's not hard to understand that these people are in seats of power that they're glued to and do not want to give it up. They will do anything to garner enough votes to stay in power. This is what they are and who they are. They are career politicians that live off the teat of the United States government and have, in some cases, for 50 years. They don't want to go away. They are of no value, and they do not understand half the time the bills that they're voting on. I've literally witnessed them wheeling people in a wheelchair, unable to cast their own votes, and when their hands were pressed onto the voting. That's a reluctance to give up power. That is the reluctance of a side of an aisle that just has to be in power. They have to make you believe that they are the only ones that can literally bilk you out of millions of dollars of taxpayer money. Actually, if you really think about it, trillions of dollars. That's why they're holding up and closing the government to get $1.5 trillion so they can play with programs that are detrimental to our society. They're not good for our society by any stretch of the means, and they do want to take and give money, your money, to non-citizens that are here without legality. They'll rail and tell you there are no illegal people. They entered this country illegally. Go try that in Russia, Poland, or any of those countries that require your passport and know who you are when you enter that country. They know when you're supposed to leave that country. But we waived all that under Biden and somewhat under Obama. The left-hand side of the aisle is not your father's Democratic Party any longer. There are some grandfathers that are still there. That's the truth. They need to leave and make room for thinking people. You've got people in there that will not ever be happy if they're put out of their seats. We removed 4 years of inadequate government control when we voted last November. We need to exercise that exact right one more time when it comes to people like Zoltar Mandani in New York and Letitia James or anybody else that is going to run for an office again that has a history of bad behavior, bad voting, voting against the good of the United States citizens. And for those foreigners that were let into seats of our Congress should have been vetted a little bit better. There's criminal behavior on some of their parts that has not been addressed. Look at Ilhan Omar. Look at all of the foreigners that are sitting there making far left fringe decisions based on the fact that they love the country they came from more than the country they're sitting in the Congress of. If that doesn't aggravate you, I don't know what will. But this is the truth. This is what mainstream media, MSNBC, and the like will never tell you. They'll shade everything to the left side because that's where their allegiance lies. And if you go and say, well, I just watch Fox, they're not much better. In some cases, they'll tell you the other side of the coin, but in most times, it's either one side or another, and you have to take that as gospel. The gospel according to Christ is the only gospel I want to know about. And the only thing that I can think of is their cancellation of those gospels to usher in a time that is beneficial to the minions of the dark side. The light of Christ is once again in this country. They killed Charlie Kirk to stop his revelation to the students in most of the universities that he visited and in the debates that he had. And they could not take that. They could not take the word of Christ. They could not take the fact that he was telling the truth about where the left side is going with their immoral behavior. This is what we faced. And we'll face more of it as long as we have people out there willing to kill the opposition. And it's not the Republicans that are out killing people or calling for the death of people. Like the guy in Virginia that is running for attorney general or a high office that has published that he would like to kill his opposition and his children. Has the person running for governor distanced herself from him? Absolutely not. This is the behavior of the dark side. This is the behavior that we need to rally against in a peaceful fashion. You don't see us marching in the streets with signs that are paid for by the likes of George Soros or some other person who wants to see the collapse of this government and has money to put in to arming these people, to giving them the gear they need to resist our police, our federal agents that are in harm's way every time they leave their door. That's bad behavior. That is rhetoric that is propagated by the left side of the aisle and aided and abetted by mainstream media. This is why we need to turn away from the TV set. We need to have your children turn away from the laptops, the tablets, and the phones that are used as babysitters in some cases, because they're teaching your children bad behavior. They tried to institute it in the lower grade schools over the last 4 years, aided by the teachers' unions. What's up with that? But the left side is known for its hypocrisy. Everything that they did to get Donald Trump or to persecute anyone who was a Trump supporter or in a Trump cabinet, they got away with. Now that the shoe is on the other foot and they're being charged with some of their criminal behavior, it's not okay. Although it's been weaponized against them Take a look at Letitia James here.
So I want to thank all of you. I want to thank each and every one of you. I want to thank you for your prayers. I want to thank you for your emails. I want to thank you for your support. It has strengthened my spirit and it has anchored my soul. And so I want to thank you. But this is not about me. This is about all of us. And about a justice system which has been weaponized. A justice system which has been used as a tool of revenge. This justice system which has been used as a tool of revenge and a weapon against those individuals who simply did their job and who stood up for the rule of law.
Look, I'd just like to say that you got some nerve.
I'm running for Attorney General because I will never be afraid to challenge this illegitimate president when our fundamental rights are at stake.
To focus on Donald Trump and his abuses. We need to follow his money. We need to find out where he's laundered money. All of those transactions have happened here in New York City. Tell this president and every other individual that no one is above the law.
Will you sue him for us?
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the ass. He's going to know my name personally.
Because no one is above the law, including this illegitimate president. And so, I look forward to going into the office of Attorney General every day, suing him, defending your rights, and then going home. God bless you and thank you. My name is Letitia James. But this is not about me. This is about all of us. And about a justice system
which has been weaponized.
Wow. Just wow.
How in the world can you justify what she's saying when we all full well know what she did to try and bankrupt, to jail, to destroy a man and his family's reputation who was a president of the United States in the court system of New York along with Alan Bragg, and then have the hypocrisy to come out with the words that you just heard. It's unbelievable. But the left side revels in hypocrisy. It's so evident that it's strange. It's strange that it's been accepted by some across this nation, but it's unbelievable. And speaking of hypocrisy, take a look here.
This is what they looked like. So that's clear as day. That is the Nazi salute. That's the Heil Hitler salute. Now, the nominee today tried to explain it away, tried to pretend like we didn't see that. But of course it's the Nazi salute, because Elon Musk, he's endorsed the neo-Nazi party inside Germany. He amplifies anti-Semitic conspiracy theories on Twitter. What do you think of Elon Musk, perhaps the president's most visible advisor, doing two Heil Hitler salutes last night at the president's televised rally?
No, Elon Musk did not do those salutes. I was not at the rally, but I can tell you I've been at many rallies with Elon Musk, who loves to cheer when President Trump says we need to send, our U.S. space program to Mars. Elon Musk is a visionary. I'm looking forward to his work in DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, and look forward to looking how we can be more efficient and effective. But that is simply not the case. And to say so is the American people are smart. They see through it.
Because I think that your work and the administration's work on anti-Semitism only comes with real impact and credibility if it holds both right and left accountable. I simply don't believe that if a member of the squad made that same gesture last night, that there wouldn't be commentary from you and others. So I want to make sure that our work has credibility, and credibility comes with calling anti-Semitism and anti-Semitism behavior out when it comes from both the right and the left.
Is that so?
We're running out of time, but I do want to ask you about the Maine Senate race, because earlier this month you called Maine Senate candidate Graham Plattner impressive. But since then, obviously, a lot about him has come out, including the fact that he had a Totenkopf, which is a skull head. It's the Nazi emblem for the SS. He had one of those tattooed on his chest. He's denied that he knew what the tattoo meant until recently, but CNN did find several times he discussed the Totenkopf emblem in recent years and months. Do you still think Plattner is impressive?
Yeah, I saw that reporting. I think I'm meeting with him this upcoming week, so I'm certainly interested to hear from him about it. I mean, anytime you see something like that, you scratch your head. But I've also listened to him talk about, the difficult time that he went through in his life. And frankly, it's not unfamiliar to a lot of soldiers who came back from service and had a very difficult time readjusting. So he sounds like a human being to me, a human being who made mistakes, recognizes them, and is very open about it.
Oh, what the ever!
But of course it's the Nazi salute, because Elon Musk, he's endorsed the neo-Nazi party inside Germany. He amplifies anti-Semitic conspiracy theories on Twitter. So I want to make sure that our work has credibility, and credibility comes with calling anti-Semitism and anti-Semitism behavior out when it comes from both the right and the left. But I've also listened to him talk about, the difficult time that he went through in his life. And frankly, it's not unfamiliar to a lot of soldiers who came back from service and had a very difficult time readjusting. So he sounds like a human being to me, a human being who made mistakes.
If you think about it, being a hypocrite is the worst thing you can be.
I probably smoke more Parmesan cheese than anyone that you know, I'm sure, Tracy.
I stand corrected.
It's almost unbelievable what you're seeing happen here. It is just mind-boggling in some cases. So we've got that going for us. And we'll see more and more of it. So that'll take us into our section of what does it all mean? And once again, we'll see.
my dreams. How dare you?
It's less than ideal.
Humanity is in the hot seat. Today, July 2023, is set to be the hottest month ever recorded in human history.
Oh, crap.
The consequences are clear and they are tragic. Children swept away by monsoon rains.
Children.
Families running from the flames. Workers collapsing in scorching heat. The air is unbreathable, the heat is unbearable, and the level of fossil fuel profits and climate inaction is unacceptable.
Oh, crap.
Humans are to blame. All this is entirely consistent with predictions and repeated warnings. Climate change is here, it is terrifying, and it is just the beginning.
Oh, crap.
The era of global warming has ended, the era of global boiling has arrived.
It's too hot today.
For the entire
I hope you enjoyed What Does It All Mean? And now we'll take us to a look into when MSNBC calls out, or I'm sorry, CNBC it was, that called out Hakeem Jeffries over the weekend. And, well, just take a look here.
What you are asking the Republicans to do right now when they control the White House, the Senate, and the House is effectively what the Democrats could not do when they controlled all three of those heads of government themselves.
Correctamundo.
The 3-year setup for the expiration of these credits was intentionally put in. It was put in when you controlled the White House, and the Senate. You couldn't get it passed for longer. And so this is a setup that kind of your own creation that you all couldn't extend beyond that. Now you want the Republicans to do something you didn't do when you were in power?
Yes, that's exactly what's happening.
It's not a setup beyond what we could do. We extended the Affordable Care Act tax credits in 2022 for 3 years.
That's exactly what you said.
The 3-year setup for the expiration of these credits was intentionally put in. It was put in when you controlled the White House, and the Senate.
The program is working. It's providing health care to tens of millions of people in an affordable way, and it should be continued. It's interesting to us that Republicans decided that they would prefer to permanently extend massive tax breaks for their billionaire donors in their one big ugly bill.
Well, that'll bring us into our favorite exit, the exit to Stupid Town. Take a look here.
She's got purple hair and a thrift shop vibe. She'll ban your beef, she'll ban your ride. A control freak queen with a lunatic twist. Welcome to Rosa DeLaro's greatest hit.
Going to reverberate to community health centers. But the big, beautiful bill is the cutbacks in Medicaid.
What the hell was that?
And this is why we're here, because of this effort. No, they're on vacation, 35 years, 35 days. you have to make your first payment on December 15th. Otherwise, on January 1, you will not have health insurance. So have a happy holiday, whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, Schwanz, or whatever you're paying for.
Would you repeat that?
Whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, Schwanz, or whatever you're paying for.
And may the Schwartz be with you.
So my food stamps got loaded up today. I got to do a click list. I didn't even have to go shopping. If you're a taxpayer and you clocked in last week and paid taxes that fund the food stamp program, your girl just wants to thank you for continuing to fill my pantry and my fridge up. I had my first daughter at 13 and y'all automatically assume that I'm on food stamps and have been on food stamps for the last 24 years.
What you mean it ain't going through? I just got my load this morning.
It keeps declining. Maybe try sliding one more time.
I done slid it 3 times already. Hold on.
Mom, can I get these gummies?
Not right now, baby. Mama's trying to fix this. Lord.
Do y'all really have some blue state privilege? Because I live in Minnesota and I feel like I live in like communist Cuba right now, because I've only lived in red states. I was recently living in the South where I was terrified if I got pregnant again because I had a high risk pregnancy. Also, my husband couldn't get a snippy done because it wasn't on his insurance, because they don't play that way. And people here will be like, if you go to the rural areas though, it's so conservative. If you go to the suburbs, it's so conservative. No, it's not. Not compared to the rest of the fucking country. They'll be like, oh, but there's Trump signs out there. There's like 12. There's like 12. Have you ever driven in a rural area in a red state? Have you ever been to Texas? Y'all, and I'm not trying to sound better because I lived in Texas, but it was scary. And people do not understand the meaning of like actually being in a place with a bunch of scary ass people, because you would be driving around rural areas and you would see signs that are far worse than Trump signs, far worse, and these people would like pew you, like they will. And then you would get aggressively yelled at in the gas station. I would get yelled at all the time, and I had a newborn baby, and I'm white, I just have tattoos, and I would just dress differently. I have never ever felt like unsafe in a rural part of a blue state. Are you kidding me? There's so much, like, I'm not trying to be like privileged, please, but there's so much privilege here. Like, so much. Like, everybody's nice here. Like, it's crazy. And people don't get it. Like, oh my God. I think, you know what I think? And this is crazy. You need to live in a red state for a while, because you need to understand how the rest of the fucking country lives.
3, 2, 1.
Sometimes we need permission to scream, right? We're so used to holding things together or feeling like we should be able to handle whatever's going on in our life, you know, especially as adults. But I think sometimes just having permission to release is a really big part of it.
Scream with us! Scream with us! Scream with us! Scream with us! Scream with us!
Shut the f*** up! These are radical Christians and you're defending. God,
They
you're
don't.
so stupid.
They don't push gays off the top.
Are
of
you
buildings for
kidding?
being gay.
Shut the f***
No,
up,
they
you
don't.
bigot. Shut the f***
I
You
know,
don't
you
want
agree.
to learn.
He needs to learn how to communicate like you.
Shame!
Oh, are you gonna threaten me? Apparently.
And I hope you enjoyed Stupid Town today. We'll be back here tomorrow to talk to you some more. It's a very rainy day, and it's going to be a rainy week here in East Tennessee. We're going to be out and about looking for some change in color as a result of this rain. I hope it doesn't dampen the colors that have been so beautiful in the last couple of weeks. And Kaiser and I have thoroughly enjoyed being out and around the farm here, enjoying the fall season. It's been nice probably one of the nicest falls I can remember in a long time. And I'm hoping that you're all enjoying being out and about in this beautiful nation. And I ask you all to please, if you haven't visited a house of worship in a while, please get to one. We need your prayers. We need the prayers for the salvation of this country, and also pray that all of the unrest across this globe will be settled. In God, all things are possible. We kind of walked away from that for a number of years here in this country, and I think it's time we all get back to what's really important, and that is our family, our God, and our nation that's under God, and never forget that. So until tomorrow, stay safe, stay strong, and stay tuned to the Kaiser Report for more information and a look-see at the funny side of what happens in this world today. Bye-bye now. God bless you all.